All right, the latest coming in is that India is closely monitoring global energy markets as well as potential energy supply disruptions as a fallout of the evolving geopolitical situation. India is also committed to supporting initiatives for releases from strategic petroleum reserves for mitigating market volatility. All right, for more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Hina Gambhir on the broadcast. Hina, thank you for joining us. While we understand that the situation is extremely tense in Ukraine, Indian government is also keeping a close watch, and now there are concerns over supply disruptions. For the benefit of our viewers, could you help us understand the kind of steps India is mulling at the moment?
Well, it's a very, very important development that has taken place. Remember, for the last few days, we are talking about how the Russia-Ukraine war will have a direct impact on India's oil import. India currently imports about 85% of its oil requirement. And now, after the meeting, it was decided that India is open to dipping into its strategic petroleum reserves in case there is too much of volatility as far as the crude prices are concerned. Because for the first time since 2014, the crude oil prices, Brent crude prices specifically, have gone beyond $100 per barrel mark. We don't know for how long this war-like situation is going to continue. So India is now preparing certain measures, taking certain, decisions which it can really consider if there is too much of volatility, because the fear is that soon after elections are over, this hike in Brent price will lead to higher petrol and diesel prices for all of us. Now, the important development that has taken place today is that government is open to dipping into its strategic petroleum reserves. Now, Archana, strategic petroleum reserves are the reserves that India has right now, and these reserves are used in case of an emergency or a war-like situation. As of now, India has strategic, reserve capacity of about 5.33 million tons, which is about 39.1 million barrels. That's our capacity. In November last year, Indian government had decided to take out 5 million barrels of oil because US had asked other countries as well to take out some oil from their strategic reserves because the crude oil prices were rising quite sharply at that point in time. So that was the first time in history India dipped into its strategic petroleum reserves. Now, when actually there is a war-like situation, India is mulling that, in case there's going to be too much of volatility, so this is an option that India will be exercising. And at the same time, we are being told that 5 million barrels government decided to take out at that time. And now, if required, there could be more that India will take out so that its dependency on imported oil is reduced, and we are safeguarded from the volatility in oil prices.
All right. Thank you so much, Hina, for explaining us and getting us those latest developments. Right, breaking inputs coming in. Poland refuses to play World Cup playoff against Russia. Poland will not play their 2022 World Cup playoff with Russia and Moscow on March 24th due to its invasion of Ukraine. Now, Ukrainian forces are trying to keep the Russian forces at bay on the outskirts of its capital, Kiev. In the self-shot video, President Zelensky could be seen walking around the capital in an effort to dispel rumors that he had called on the army to surrender to Russia. Even as death toll continues, it's about 198 at the moment. Ukraine's president has turned down America's offer to evacuate the capital city. And as per latest, nearly 200 Ukrainians have been killed as a result of Russia's attacks. All right, so this is the latest as far as the situation in Ukraine is concerned. Ukraine's president has turned down America's offer that he could be evacuated from the country. He told America that he needs arms and ammunition and does not need a ride. We are also getting a latest report from Ukraine. Take a look.
The situation is very dire. You can see the pictures of what I understand are students from India being evacuated, but also hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians are also fleeing Kyiv these hours and these days. It's not safe to be in Kyiv, as you've heard in the reporting. There are fightings on the streets of Kyiv, and the local authorities in the capital are calling on civilians, ordinary citizens, either to stay home and hunker down or come to the military deployment units, take weapons in their hands and fight and help defend Ukrainian land and Ukrainian country against the Russian aggression. As of today, hundreds of thousands of people have already fled Kyiv. A lot of them are trying to leave the country. These are mostly women and children who are leaving the country. Men are staying here, staying put, and ready to fight.
Just a day after Russia announced that it's open for talks in Belarus, Russian forces still continue to escalate attacks on Ukraine. Russian Defense Ministry spokesperson said that a group of Luhansk People's Republic forces have advanced up to 30 kilometers and took over 2 more. Defending the move, the spokesperson claimed that only infrastructure sites of the military were being targeted, even as multiple videos of residential areas being hit emerged.
Группировка войск Луганской Народной Республики продвинулась на глубину до 30 километров и овладела населенными пунктами Бахмутовка и Гречишкин. Соединения воинские части Донецкой Народной Республики, наступая в направлении Новомайское, продвинулись еще на 6 километров. Националистические батальоны, отходя, взрывают за собой электроподстанции и мосты через реки. Еще раз подчеркну, что огонь ведется только по объектам военной инфраструктуры Вооруженных сил Украины, исключая нанесение ущерба жилой и социальной инфраструктуре. Всего российскими вооруженными силами поражен 821 объект военной инфраструктуры Украины. Среди них 14 военных аэродромов, 19 пунктов управления и узлов связи, 24 зенитных ракетных комплексов противовоздушной обороны С-300 и ОСА, 48 радиационных станций. Сбито 7 боевых самолетов, 7 вертолетов, 9 беспилотных летательных аппаратов. Уничтожено 87 танков и других боевых бронированных машин, 28 реактивных систем залпового огня, 118 единиц специальной военной автомобильной техники. Силами военно-морского флота России уничтожено 8 военных катеров украинских военно-морских сил.
And in a big development, India has abstained from voting on a resolution at the United Nations Security Council that condemns Russia's aggression over Ukraine. Out of the 15-member nations at UNSC, 11 voted to condemn Russia, while 3, that includes India, China and UAE, abstained to vote. The resolution could not be passed as Russia vetoed it. It used its power to veto and block the resolution since it's a permanent member of the UNSC.
Is the only answer to settling differences and disputes, however daunting that may appear at this moment. It is a matter of regret that the path of diplomacy was given up. We must return to it. For all these reasons, India has chosen to abstain on this resolution. India is deeply disturbed by the recent turn of developments in Ukraine. We urge that all efforts are made for the immediate cessation of violence and hostilities. No solution can ever be arrived at the cost of human lives. We are also deeply concerned about the welfare and security of the Indian community, including a large number of Indian students in Ukraine.
Нам сегодня антироссийского и антиукраинского проекта резолюции Совета Безопасности. Почему антироссийского, думаю, объяснять не надо. Достаточно хотя бы бегло на него взглянуть. Почему антиукраинского? Потому что этот документ, вне всякого сомнения, противоречит коренным интересам украинского народа, поскольку пытается спасти и закрепить на Украине ту систему власти, которая подвела эту страну к трагедии, длящейся вот уже как минимум 8 лет.
The United Nations was born out of war to end war. Today, that objective was not achieved. But we must never give up we must give peace another chance. Soldiers need to return to their barracks. Leaders need to turn to the paths of dialogue and peace.
Now, Indian government has stepped up evacuation of Indians stranded in Ukraine. 2 Air India flights are bringing them back today. One flight will arrive in Delhi and the other one in Mumbai. Indians have been evacuated and are being taken from Romania and Hungary. Now, meanwhile, the Indian government has also issued a fresh advisory to all those stranded to not move to border posts without coordinating with the authorities.
यूक्रेन गवर्नमेंट, यूक्रेन के विदेश मंत्री से भी हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने भी बात की है। अब लगातार उनको सुरक्षित यहाँ पर लाने की व्यवस्था चल रही है।
I'm standing here in Bucharest airport, surrounded by about 200 odd Indian nationals. You may be able to see some of them behind me here. All these lovely young students here, all of them from India. And all of whom were evacuated overnight, emergency, via the border post. You're all students, aren't you? I mean, what are you guys all studying?
Medicine.
You're studying medicine and...
Yeah, we are third-year students from Bukovinian State Medical University, Ukraine.
Wow. Tell me about this incredible adventure.
Yeah, it was nice and it was very, very hurry and we were evacuated. Thank you for Indian Embassy and thank you for Ukraine in Indian Embassy.
Well, you can see, or hear, should I say, some very sanguine people here who've just escaped from a war zone. But, they got on a bus, they traveled around 12 hours through the night, and here they are at Bucharest airport, about to be evacuated onto a flight back to the safety of India. Yeah, I mean, first of all, you all seem extremely grateful, don't you, towards the help of the Indian embassy, the Indian consulate.
Yeah, they helped us a lot. They filled the forms and they evacuated so early, which was not possible. But they did it and they helped us and they got away from the border.
Yeah.
Thanks to Indian embassy.
Yeah.
And thanks to everyone, as we were in the western part, so we were safe. But they took us first, and first our batch is evacuated from others.
Yeah.
So there are many students who are still coming. By today or tomorrow they will reach.
Now, where are they? And are they in trouble? Are they in danger?
No, they are not in danger. Everyone is safe and everyone will return soon.
Right, breaking inputs coming in as far as the latest statement of Ukraine's president is concerned. Now, the latest is that he said that we are controlling Kyiv and key points around the city. Whoever wants to come and help us, please do. We will arm you. We need to stop this war. We can live in peace. This is the latest as far as Ukraine's president's statement is concerned. So there were reports that Russian troops have entered Kyiv, but this is the latest. Ukraine has clarified, and it's a definite statement that Ukraine still controls the capital and that they are in control of key points of the capital as far as Russia's attack is concerned. Now, Indian students who are stranded in Ukraine share their ordeal after Russia's invasion. They spoke to Times Network, and this conversation happened at Bucharest airport in Romania. Take a look.
In our side is nothing, just a safe place in our city. Our city is very blessed zone and government is taking right decision, and I am leaving Ukraine and reach to India.
No, we didn't come from a war. Like, we was in a safe zone and there was nothing that much big happening there. And our university and government took right decisions on the right time. So we are here and we are safe.
Like, the worst moment was knowing that one night we slept and overnight so many cities have been blasted and so many things are happening all around the world. Our soldiers were dying from Ukraine and there was so much crisis, and Indian students are suddenly moved to bunkers and tunnels and every place possible without food, water, shelter, literally nothing. And the next thing we knew is even we are in threat. Anything can happen to us.
specific are coming from Chernovitzy. It was not that bad, but everywhere else in Ukraine there's a lot of chaos is going on, the bombardment and everything. So we were also worried about like if we are safe over here, for how long we are safe over here. We were just studying and then suddenly we heard the news in the early morning that Russia attacked on Ukraine, and then it was such a panic situation for us.
Now, amid war between Russia and Ukraine, parents of stranded Indians are worried. A family in Prayagraj is concerned as their son, Dikshant Srivastava, a medical student, is stuck in Ukraine and had to spend a night in a bunker. Last year in July, he had come to meet his family. Mirror Now's Alok spoke to the family.
I am in Allahabad, and this is Prayagraj especially, and this family, their son is Dikshant Srivastava. He is a medical student and he is also stranded over there. His parent is with us. They are very much emotional and they are very much worrying for their son. Sir, आपकी बातचीत क्या हुई है last time आपके बच्चे?
Last time बच्चे से पूछा कि उनके अभी जो लाइफ स्टाइल है, अभी रह रहे हैं, कैसे रह रहे हैं वहाँ पे। तो बच्चे ने बताया था कि कल रात को तो हम लोगों को मैसेज मिला कि आप लोग बंकर में चले जाइए, वहाँ बंकर बनाए हुए हैं जहाँ फ्लैट में रह रहे हैं लोग।
अच्छा,
तो
ऊपर से बमबार्डिंग हो तो
क्योंकि कल रात से बमबारी हो रही थी वहाँ पे, क्योंकि वो तो वहाँ पीछे जहाँ रहते हैं बच्चे उनके पीछे पोर्ट है, ब्लैक सी का पोर्ट है, तो पोर्ट से ही बमबारी हो रही थी वहाँ पे, पोर्ट पे बमबारी। तो इन लोगों को आदेश दिया गया कि आप लोग बंकर में चले जाइए। और इसके बाद फिर जो है फिर बच्चे निकल के आए होंगे रूम में अपने बाद में, तो क्योंकि नहाना धोना नाश्ता पानी ये सब करना ही है। यहाँ से टाइमिंग का करीब 2.5-3 घंटे का अंतर है वहाँ से। जैसे इस समय 1 बज रहा है तो वहाँ पे करीब 11 बज रहा होगा, 11 साढ़े 10।
तो बच्चे बंकर में गए कि नहीं गए बच्चे की, या क्या है अभी भी वो रूम में ही है?
रात को गए थे वहाँ पे, मतलब फिर इसके बाद अभी निकल आए वहाँ से।
अच्छा, बंकर में गए?
हाँ, मतलब
उनको बंकर में रहना पड़ रहा है।
हाँ, तो बंकर।
और आने के लिए क्या बोल रहे हैं, क्या वहाँ की प्रशासन ने कितनी बात?
आने के लिए वो एम्बेसी से एडवाइजरी भी जारी हो रही है। और अभी तो थोड़ी देर पहले मैसेज आया था उसका कि हमने एम्बेसी से बात किया था, तो उन लोगों ने कहा कि अभी आप जहाँ वहाँ स्टे करिए, हम आपको अपडेट करेंगे और वहाँ से पिकअप करेंगे। फिर रोमानिया नियरेस्ट वही है,
तो रोमानिया में एक सेफ जोन पे पहुंचाने की।
हाँ, रोमानिया में
लेकिन क्लैरिटी अभी भी नहीं है कि टाइम फिक्स नहीं है। आंटी आप फोटो लेकर के बैठी हुई हैं, एक बार दिखाइएगा फोटो, और अपील कर रही हैं सरकार से। कुछ बात हो पाई है आपने?
हाँ, सरकार से अपील क्या है, यही अपील है कि बच्चे जो वहाँ पे फंसे हुए हैं, अभी तक तो नॉर्मल था, 3 दिन से जब से वहाँ पे बम अटैक किए, सब कुछ किए, बच्चे बहुत परेशान हो गए, बहुत डर गए हैं और सारे अगल बगल मॉल सब बंद हो गए हैं। अब आज तक तो ये बोल रहे हैं कि हो सकता है हम लोग की लाइट भी कट जाए, पानी भी बंद हो जाए, मोबाइल भी बंद हो जाए।
Now, with thousands of students still stuck in the war-torn country, parents back home continue to hope for the safe return of their children. They say that they are in regular contact with their children and hope their safe and speedy return. The Indian government is already facilitating the safe arrival of Indian students stuck in Ukraine.
ਤੇ ਯੂਕਰੇਨ ਦੀ ਜੰਗਬੰਦੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਸ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਪੂਰਾ ਹੀ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਔਖਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ। ਕੀ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਮਾੜੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ, ਦਿਨ ਬ ਦਿਨ ਜੋ ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹਾਲਾਤ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੋ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਬੰਕਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂ ਫਲੈਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ? ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਾਨੀ ਕਿ ਬੰਬਾਰੀ ਵਗੈਰਾ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਬੰਕਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਬੰਕਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇੰਨੀ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ 5-4 ਹਜ਼ਾਰ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ 500 ਬੱਚਾ ਬੈਠ ਸਕੇ ਜਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਖੜ ਸਕੇ। ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, 에ਅਰ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਬੁੱਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ। ਹੁਣ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰਾਈ ਸੀ ਸੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ, ਚਾਰਟਰ ਫਲਾਈਟ ਸੀ, ਸੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪੋਸਟਪੋਨ ਕਰਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਉਣਾ। पर वो 1 दिन पहले ही जो कल सारी एयर स्पेस बंद हो गई या एयरपोर्ट सारे बंद हो गए, उस गल करके सारी प्रॉब्लम आके हुण वो भी फ्लाइट का सानू की स्टेटस है, सानू उस बारे कुछ भी नहीं पता है।
ते रात उसने 1000 के करीब जैसे बंकर में बैठे थे लोग सारे, मतलब बैठने की भी स्पेस नहीं थी, मतलब कोई खड़ा है कोई बैठा है, कोई मेट्रो खड़ी है, मेट्रो बंकर बने हुए हैं उसमें खड़े हैं, मतलब कोई अच्छी सिचुएशन नहीं थी वहाँ पे।